It is 7 p.m. all around the national territory. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another edition of the English newscast on Info Television. Our headlines. The Minister of Mines, Industries and Technological Development has emphasized on the importance of sustainable industrialization and regional integration. And as Cameroon joins the world to celebrate the World Children's Day this November 20, Info TV lays emphasis on the role that parents play. Those were our top stories. Details in a jiffy. Welcome back. As Cameroon joins the world to celebrate the World Industrialization Day this November 20, 2025, the Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development has laid emphasis on the importance of sustainable industrialization and regional integration. As you tell us, Agnes Ayuk.
As Cameroon joins the world this November 20, 2025 to observe World Industrialization Day, attention is drawn on promoting sustainability and strengthening international competitiveness of Cameroonian products by enhancing advanced technology.
We have adopted an industrialization plan by development of value chains. Like you can see bauxite, alumina, aluminium and aluminium products. You can see clay, feldspats, development of tiles. You can see iron ore, development of road. So I think our consultations today shows that Cameroon is on the right path. Our industrial growth is increasing. We started with one cement factory. Today we have 12 and more are on the line.
The day has been celebrated under the theme Transforming Africa's Economy Through Sustainable Industrialization and Regional Integration, a theme which the minister says is timely.
We have big projects which involve development of our gas field with Equatorial Guinea, which is a mega project by world standards. We have joint projects with Congo to develop metals. So we are fitting very well into the theme of this year.
By trying to transform local resources, the private sector equally needs its own place.
Cameroon, with the Ministry of Industry, is combining all those elements, trying as much as possible to transform local resources and taking the lead, having good share in that process, and also giving the share or giving a place to the private sector, because industrialization could not be done by only the public sector. The private sector needs to find its own place.
Cameroon, being one of the leading industries in Africa, inventing new technologies will improve productivity.
Cameroon is also leading in the region, but also in Africa by showing the road that we need to adopt this value chain approach. So what we are doing, we are thinking larger, we are thinking about ecosystem, making that the sector we would like to work in to benefit to as much as possible people, actors in the society.
As Cameroon seeks to enhance its industrial output, balancing economic growth with environmental sustainability is imperative.
The Managing Director of the Cameroon Real Estate Corporation, Dr. Amadou Sardaouna, during a consultation meeting with the Governor of the Central Region, Nasere Paul Beya, denounced the illegal occupation of lands occupied by intruders as it hinders the progress of construction programs of construction projects in the country. Phillips Enchi throws more lights.
In a consultation meeting on Thursday, November 20th, 2025, presided over by the Governor of the Central Region, Nasere Paul Beya, at the conference room of the Governor's office in Yaoundé, a delegation of the Cameroon Real Estate Corporation under the leadership of the Managing Director, Dr. Amadou Sardaouna, presented a series of worries regarding the illegal occupation of land by city dwellers meant for the construction of affordable social housing in the city of Yaoundé. After thorough investigation, the state-owned corporation identified illegal infrastructures under construction in some neighborhoods on its land with proof of land certificates issued by the Ministry of State Property, Surveys and Land Tenure. A situation that does not sit well in the ears of the authorities in the region. After an inspection visit to the Lonkak neighborhood in the Yaoundé 1 subdivision, the governor witnesses buildings already occupied by tenants resting on lands owned by the state corporation despite indication of ownership. The visit proceeds to the Nkolbikok neighborhood, Tv, as some ministerial departments are unlawfully constructing buildings to serve their interest, while others now occupy the property, using it as a breeding ground for cocoa seedlings.
Land is being occupied fraudulently by people who don't have any right to it, and as such this denatures the plans that they have for their land, and it equally reduces their capacity of expansion and making more money. You know, SIC has as objective to build houses, low-cost houses for Cameroonians, and so when they occupy the land, they cannot build more houses.
The administrative authority is bent on restoring order.
We are going to stop all building construction going on SIC houses. All illegal occupants have to liberate, and some cases which can only be started by the hierarchy will be forwarded to the hierarchy as such.
In order to prevent intruders from gaining access to the landed properties owned by the Cameroon Real Estate Corporation, installing a control committee is of great importance.
We are going to create a committee like a watchdog, to always oversee that people don't occupy SIC land, and each time they see it, they will inform us, and so we'll stop all actions on the ground.
The Cameroon Real Estate Corporation, which has as objective to construct affordable social housing in Yaoundé, notably in the Mendong, Béamasi, Rond-Point Express, Acacia, Grand Mesa, Cité Verde and other neighborhoods in the city, is not ready to accept intruders on its land that will hinder the progress of the 2035 emergence plan. A consultation meeting that witnesses the presence of the representative of the Senior Divisional Officer from Fundi, the Regional Delegation for National Security, and others proved successful. The Cameroon Real Estate Corporation reiterates its commitment to creating a foundation for sustainable growth while upholding the laws of the Republic.
And a delegation from Equatorial Guinea led by the Vice President Teodoro Obiamange was received on November 19 by the representative of the Executive General Manager of the National Hydrocarbon Corporation. Talks centered around enhancing bilateral collaboration. Jude Kenji reports.
The working audience held at the headquarters of Cameroon's National Hydrocarbons Corporation, SNH, this Wednesday saw both nations reaffirm their commitment transforming shared energy resources into mutual economic prosperity. Hosting the delegation on behalf of Minister Adolphe Mudiki, SNH's Executive General Manager Nathalie Mudiki expressed her honor at the visit, stating it symbolizes the shared desire of Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea to strengthen cooperation in the strategic hydrocarbons sector. She emphasized that the mutual respect between SNH and Equatorial Guinea's authorities is a significant asset for optimal hydrocarbon resource development.
This visit of His Excellency, the Vice President of Equatorial Guinea, holds great significance, symbolizing the shared desire of Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea to strengthen cooperation in the strategic hydrocarbon sector. As a key player in Cameroon's energy policy, the National Hydrocarbons Corporation values its partnership with Equatorial Guinea believing mutual cooperation can optimize hydrocarbon resource development.
Des ressources en hydrocarbures de nos deux pays.
In his remarks, Vice President Teodoro Ngema Ombiang Manga reciprocated the warm sentiment, calling Cameroon a broader country with a shared history and common vision. On behalf of the delegation, I express our sincere gratitude to the people and the government for the fraternal way we have been received here in this brotherly country and in this society, the National Hydrocarbons Corporation. I feel like I'm in an Equatorial Guinean living room where everyone treats us like family. We are here to strengthen bilateral cooperation between our brotherly countries.
Entre nuestros dos países hermanos.
He further hinted a more open investment climate, stating they are determined to break down barriers and open the door to attract more investments to Equatorial Guinea, signaling a proactive approach to further partnerships. The centerpiece of the discussions was the significant progress on the Yolanda Transborder Gas Fuel Unitization Project. A detailed presentation outlined the project's structure, which aims to establish a unified operating perimeter for the joint exploitation of the reservoir that straddles the maritime border of both nations. The legal backbone of this endeavor is the bilateral agreement signed on March 17, 2023 by President Paul Biya of Cameroon and Teodoro Obiang Nguema Bazogo of Equatorial Guinea, which has now been successfully ratified by both countries. This comprehensive agreement provides the framework for negotiating the utilization, covering critical aspects such as fiscal management, customs development plans, and environmental standards. SNR officials highlighted that the project is expected to generate significant economic impacts, including job creation, stimulation of logistics activities, and crucially, enhancing Cameroon's energy sovereignty by reducing imports of refined products. To present to you two structuring projects that we have initiated. We will present these two structuring projects undertaken by the National Hydrocarbons Corporation, whose main objectives are the energy independence of Cameroon and the sustainable security of Cameroon's suppliers. Your Excellency, allow us first to present to you the agenda of this session, which will successfully cover the project overview. The project overview, the status of work progress, the economic impact, and finally, the strategic stakeholders. These constitute one of the essential links in Cameroon's energy architecture. Indeed, this is an ultra-modern complex.
Le maillon essentiel dans l'architecture énergétique du Cameroun. En effet, il s'agit ici d'un complexe ultra.
Adding a commercial success story to the diplomatic talks, the company, Tradex, presented its remarkable growth in Equatorial Guinea since 2019, with 11 service stations, 30 industrial clients, and creation of 125 jobs. The company reported a 2024 turnover of 59 billion CFA francs and a contribution of 5 billion CFA francs in taxes. The announcement of a planned 10 billion CFA francs investment in expansion served as a tangible example of the mutual benefits driving the two nations' economic partnership. The high-level meeting was attended by several key figures, including the Minister of State and Minister of External Affairs of Equatorial Guinea, the Minister of Mines and Hydrocarbons, the Ambassador of Equatorial Guinea to Cameroon, the Director General of Tradex, and several administrators of SNH, underscoring the strategic importance both governments place on this energy partnership. The successful ratification of the Yolanda Agreement marks a new chapter in Cameroonian Equatorial Guinean relations, transforming a shared geological formation into a foundation for shared economic growth and regional energy stability.
As you heard in one of our lead stories, as Cameroon joins the world to celebrate the World Children's Day this November 20, 2025, M4 TV lays emphasis on the role and responsibilities parents play in ensuring their children's rights. The day has been celebrated under the theme, My Day, My Rights. Agnes Ayog reports.
Children and young people are powerful agents of change, bringing new ideas and perspectives that can help shape a better world for all. As Cameroon joins the rest of the world to celebrate International Children's Day this November 20, 2025, parents have a great role and responsibility to ensure the rights of children.
I, as a parent, I know that a children is entitled to many rights. We, the parents, we cannot torture, we cannot mishandle, we cannot, let's say, talk harshly to any child. You have to respect his rights.
When a child is at home, you have to give consent. Caution a child how to move around, because there are children in the quarters and in school whom you know are not good companies. You have to caution the child not to move with such children. As far as the educational level is concerned, parents ensure that children have the best quality of education at their levels.
At the level of security, nutrition, and let's say education, we make sure that children are well equipped so that they should not go astray, like going out to ask for books from somebody else if they can be misled. So we ensure we do our best to make sure they have the necessary requirements for their education. We also look at the quality, the school that we go to put them. That we go and see if at least the schools are respecting some norms.
With the use of social media nowadays, children are exposed to many vices. Parents are therefore advised to caution their children on the advantages and the disadvantages of social media. Parents should therefore have strategies to limit children's use of phones. The day, it should be noted, has been celebrated under the theme, My Day, My Rights.
A meeting was held between the Interim Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development, Professor Fu Callistus Gentry, women and young people in the mining sector on Wednesday, November 19 in Yaoundé. The gathering aimed at presenting the job opportunities in the mining sector for Cameroonian women and young people. Mimi Chebo reports.
38,000 jobs are to be filled in the mining sector for women and young people. This is what emerged from discussions between players in the mining sector and the Minister of Mines, Industry and Technological Development, Professor Fu Callistus Gentry. The meeting was held in Yaoundé this Wednesday, November 19, and symbolizes the start of the establishment of the head of state policy, placing women and young people at the center of his new 7-year term.
The President, in his new mandate, has given a priority to young men and women in the mining sector. I can tell you without any contradiction that in 2026 alone, we are looking at 10,000 direct jobs, which will go to the projects of Minimatap, Grand Zambi, the project of Sino Steel, but more so of new projects that we're introducing in Kut and Tem. But that globally, we have envisaged about 38,000 direct and indirect jobs for the young men of this country in 2026 alone.
A ceremony marked by the presence of foreign investors who signed a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Mines, Industry and Technological Development, with, in a short term, the creation of a training center for young people in the field of mining, geology and petrochemicals in the southern region. A win-win partnership.
I want to assure the young men of this country that all those who have been trained in mining schools and those ones we are going to open, like the one we have projected to open in the South region, are capable of absorbing all our trained young men. And besides, small and medium-scale enterprises are going to have a lot to do. And not only that, our lawyers, our bankers, our insurers, they are all there to prepare for this new era in our mining industry that is taking stronghold in our nation.
An example of the project already realized is the Pipendi Grand Zambi iron mine led by G-Stone Company. As for the international investors, they are fully engaged on taking the mining sector to another level.
We have extended our support where for the mining sector, for the youth and the women and men of the youth to be able to get scholarship from our side, sponsored by Group Delta, to come to India as well from the top mining colleges to get some education and training so that you can capitalize on the mining sector over here. And in the future, once we start our project over here with NCOT and NTEM, we would have such training programs on a very regular basis where we send not only send people from Cameroon to get educated, but bring the top minds and top geologists, top people over here to train on ground as well.
The event ends with the official launch of the first mining club in Cameroon, including stakeholders from mining companies, ministers and general managers.
And also something else, the head of the East Region Trade Brigade launched a 2-day operation, holding meetings with traders and conducting field visits while organizing promotional sales. This aims to help curb the high cost of living after the post-election disruption, as you tell us in this report, Jessica Nziwum.
Post-election disruption has led to a noticeable shortage of foodstuffs in Garoua Bulai, resulting in a significant spike in prices across the locality. Aware of the strain the situation places on the daily lives of residents, Blaise Obam, head of the Garoua Bulai Trade Brigade, engaged traders in a series of meetings aimed at addressing the rising cost of living. It's the transportation that causes difficulties. Today, there are new products in Garoua Bulai, but buying the goods is a problem. The market is in debt, but there is no money. We have to move to get the money. And now, there are road cutters that make it even more difficult and dangerous to transport goods. Following frank discussions and extensive field visits, one major observation emerged: the supply chain remains severely strained. It was a question of how we would focus on the economic operators. We had to raise awareness to gather their tolerance. The head of the Garoua Bulai Trade Brigade reassures the population. They are having a lot of difficulties with the transport of products, but nevertheless, after our descent on the ground, we have noticed that despite these difficulties, our stores are quite supplied to cover the end of year holidays. Among the measures taken on the instructions of the Minister of Trade, Luke Magwa Baga Atangana, is the immediate launch of promotional sales from November 18, 2025 to January 20, 2026. During this period, socially responsible businesses in the area will offer discounts ranging from 500 to 5,000 CFA francs on essential consumer products. We want to tell the public not to worry. The products are quite available in our stores. The administration, the state, takes all the provisions so that the prices are very, very, very affordable. We call on the population to come and stock up. We are also on the ground to monitor the displays and ensure the prices are respected. With these interventions underway, the end-of-year celebrations are looking more promising in Garoua Bulai, and the population is encouraged to stock up while prices remain accessible.
The Ministry of Scientific Research and Innovation, under the leadership of Dr. Magdalene Twente, hosted a significant reception on November 19, 2025 in Yaoundé. This event was in honor of the director of Crastel F, a prominent organization in the field of scientific research and innovation. Agnes Ayub reports.
The Minister of Scientific Research and Innovation, Dr. Madeleine Twente, this November 19, 2025, at the Ministry's conference room, received the Director of the African Regional Center for Space Science and Technology in French language, Christelle F., in an audience to discuss collaboration ties. The collaboration between the Moroccan government and Cameroon is aimed at:
we need to increase the number of our participants or our students, and we need to create like a focal center or point to all these digital informations and etc. Why not like increase the number of courses, especially now we have the online courses and short courses for all the participants.
The regional workshop on space and digital technologies for resilient agriculture in Africa, organized by the CNDT in collaboration with Christelle F., is a concrete demonstration of the instructions of the President of the Republic, which requires the promotion of emerging technologies, including artificial intelligence and all that includes space technology.
Christelle F., qui est un partenaire de choix pour le Minresi.
Christelle F., which is a choice for Minresi, has come to offer us a program, a first exclusive program in the cartography of cultures. It is in this context that a workshop has been taking place since yesterday, which will end on Friday. It should be noted here that Christelle F. is a training space, a training platform well known in Africa, where Cameroonians benefit from the 52 high-level training courses in the satellite field, a master's program that runs for 2 years. And now, with the advent of artificial intelligence, it was in good terms to introduce artificial intelligence to promote the agriculture of the second generation. With the training offered by Christelle F., students will therefore have the opportunity to be trained and retained rather than moving out of the country. The reception gathered key stakeholders, including government officials, researchers, and representatives from various educational institutions.
And that information takes us to the end of tonight's edition. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for your keen attention and stay in the company of our programs. Have a good evening.